best answers are the ones that you get from yourself. And you know where you get great answers from? Great questions. So here's a question for you. So here's a question for you. Where in your life are you prolific at giving somebody else advice on a certain area of their life? Because that's the advice that you most need to take. I can guarantee it. And on that note, you can eat a dick. In fact, you can eat a bag of dicks. Lock the car?
Yeah.
You know what I hate about the cars here when you lock them? When the fucking horn goes off. I get shocked. I'm like, whoa! Yeah, you know when someone locks the car, I'm like, what, you beeping at? It's funny, isn't it? Because at home, if someone beeps the horn, you always think something negative, don't you? You beeping at me for, dickwad? One day, Rodney. One day. Actually, one of the guys in Warrior, he owns a yacht management company. When I went to Miami, he took me around Miami on a yacht. It was cool as shit. Gonzalo. Oh, actually, tomorrow I might get punched in the face. In the nicest possible way. Hey, you know what's funny, Mark? The amount of people that, when they're boxing, they're almost apologising when they hit somebody. Honestly, some of the guys, Garrett's like, punch him back, give him some. Like, you are doing him a disservice if you don't give him some, because he's not learning by hitting you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of the most interesting things to see. So the funny thing is that when we get into the old bro down tomorrow, people think it's all about fighting, it's all some kind of macho thing, but it's not. It's about lessons. So sometimes one of the guys will get on top and you kind of back off a little bit and almost be apologetic for hurting the guy. And then the trainers, Garrett, Krebsy, Sam, etc., they're like, keep hitting him, like keep punching him, because he's learning so much about himself now while he's getting hurt. You do him a disservice if you stop hurting him. I mean, that hurt's a strong word, but if you stop punching him, you're doing a disservice because he's learning a lot. And on the other side is, if you stop punching, you're not learning anything either. Like, honour him by continuing to go all in, do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
So I am here in Dana Point, in right next to Laguna Beach, California, preparing for tomorrow's step into the Warrior Empire event. And I'm sipping on gin and juice. Well, not really sipping on gin and juice, I'm sipping on iced coffee and green juice. The green juice is a little bit fucking gnarly, if I'm honest. Anywho, while I was waiting for this to be made, I got this kind of like pager thing. Don't know if you've seen them before. We don't have them in South Shields. I don't think anywhere's busy enough. But anywho, while I got that, it was kind of an alarm. It acts as an alarm clock. So when your order's ready, it kind of goes off and lets you know that your order's ready. And it kind of reminded me, which is ironic, to let you know about this story today, because also one of the things that I've realized is that when I start thinking a certain way and acting a certain way, that's an alarm clock that I am not treating myself right. See, what I figured out a while ago is that the only thing that will stop me from getting what I want and living the life that I want and having the freedom that I want and the relationships that I want is my energy levels or my capacity. And This week's been a big example of that. You may have already seen the video where I told you about the drift that happened after London when I was smoked. And yesterday here in California was horrendous. Like, my luggage didn't turn up. I've been here 2 days, my luggage only showed up this morning. My bipolar meds were in there, my asthma meds were in there, everything that I needed was in there, and I kind of lost my shit. Because guess what? I'm not perfect. So this alarm clock was this behaviour, these drifts, this reverting back to old mindsets, this playing the victim, this acting up only happens when I'm tired. Okay? And my energy levels are an indicator or a show or a display of how I'm treating myself, right? And self-care should really be your #1 priority, because how I treat myself sets the standards for how other people treat me. So think about that again. How you treat yourself will set the standard for how other people will treat you, but also actually sets the standard for how you treat other people. So how you treat yourself sets a standard for how you treat other people. Think about this, right? When you are grouchy with the kids, when you're snappy, when you're arguing with your wife, when you're kind of pissed off with your clients, when you are sedating with junk food, booze, coke, whatever your drug of choice is, whatever your sedation, destruction of choice is, it's always when you're tired. It's always when you feel like shit. And the way you feel is directly correlated to how you treat yourself. And the funny thing is here, this is the great thing, is that how you treat yourself is also a precursor to your results. So the results you've produced in your life are actually, I hate to use this word, a manifestation of how you feel about yourself and how you treat yourself. Because consider this, if you are the vehicle that drives your business, drives your relationship, that drives your body, that drives kind of just the results and the reality that you currently have in your world, if you're the vehicle that produces that, why would you treat yourself like shit? It's like kind of having a Ferrari and putting diesel in the petrol engine. It's not really going to get you what you want. It's a toy, but it's not really going to get you what you want. So that's kind of the lesson here, and it keeps hitting me over and over again. It's like beating my head against a brick wall, and eventually I'll learn my lesson. Eventually I will learn my lesson. So I suppose what I'm trying to say here is that if you're not willing to kind of treat yourself right, how can you expect other people to treat you right? If you're not willing to put self-care as your #1 priority, how do you expect to grow your business? How do you expect to get laid more? Like, honestly, like, if you're just walking around in your underpants, scratching your balls and farting, how can you expect your missus to put on her best underwear for you? It's not going to happen, right? So the moral of the story is how you feel is an alarm clock. An alarm clock to how you're treating yourself. And I've figured out that I can change the way I feel at kind of any given moment just by doing something that's non-destructive and making myself feel better. So where do you go when you start to feel and act in a certain way? So when your old mindsets come in, when your old behaviors and your old patterns come in, when that alarm clock happens, where do you go? Because I know in the past for me, I've gone to booze, I've gone to coke, I've gone to porn, I've gone to sedation, I've gone to titty bars, I've gone to isolation mode. But now I have the decision, okay, I feel like shit, what can I do? How to make myself feel better? How can I treat myself? And again, how I'm treating myself is the standard for how I'll treat other people and how other people will treat me. And ultimately, what kind of results I'm able to produce in my life, what kind of outcomes I'm able to bring into my reality and bring into my world. That's it. I'm about to step into the fire, about to step into the void, and I'm sure we'll talk about that tomorrow or next week or whenever you're going to watch that one.